Alright guys, the subject of this video is Dupli color tire paint. Hopefully y'all can hear me good. I've put the microphone on. So as you can see, I've got the wheels taped off, put some tape around the edge so I don't get some on the paint there. I have already done one tire over here. The stuff is kind of it's kind of messy. It's real liquidy. It's hard to explain it. It's not like your typical paint, the way that it comes out and goes on. It's kind of liquidy. It's kind of runny. So if you put it on too thick, you know, if you get too close or if you spray for too long, then you know it'll run. Now, from what I can tell, definitely from a distance, the runs wouldn't show if you've got, you know, as long as the whole tire is pretty much evenly coated. If you have some runs, it shouldn't show unless you get right up on it. So let me, bear with me. So as you can see right here, I've got this tire done, and as you can see, I only taped around the edge of that wheel, and then what I was doing was trying to take a piece of cardboard, holding it up, and because of this stuff being messy like it is, it actually got some on the wheels. Now it says on here in the directions that you can use household rubbing alcohol or Dupli Colors grease and wax remover, PS 100, without damaging or staining the surface. However, Scott Bly with Dallas Paint Correction, I actually seen that he made a video on this stuff not recently, which I thought was pretty cool, because I don't know of anybody else that has one, but I seen this stuff a while back, and I think it's been out for a while, but I seen it and picked it up, and then I seen Scott did his video on it, and so it reminded me that that I still had the stuff and needed to try it out. So you know, I think it's interesting. As you can see here, it says, you know, that it bonds to rubber. So it's not like I don't think that this is like taking regular, you know, acrylic black paint or something and painting your tire with it. I think this, you know, actually is formulated to bond with rubber, and it's not like I sprayed some. Actually, let me show you. I sprayed some on bear with me, this box back here, and as you can see, it's almost like got a gray tone to it. Now I sprayed again a stripe right here, that's why it's darker. So that was the first initial spray outside where it kind of looks gray, and then I sprayed again, and so it looks a little blacker right there. But it's not just jet black paint. So it's not, you know, what you would think it is. It's not just regular paint. And so, but I think, you know, y'all leave your comments down below, but you know, look at this tire and look at that tire, and you tell me, in your opinion, which one looks better. Now, on the can, it says that it produces a shine, and I would call that a sheen. Once it dries, and I don't even know if it's really fully dried yet, then that's about where I like it. I like that look right there. So, you know, if that's naked, just clean rubber, then you know, this is a deep dark black, and I'm interested to see what happens with it. Interested to see how long it lasts. I'm interested to see, does it make the tires easier to clean? You know, is stuff, dirt and stuff not going to want to stick to it and bond to it as well now that it has this on here? You know, if you know, if they would have wanted to, if they would have marketed it as such, they could have put tire coating and people would probably be all over it. And if they would have charged way more for it, people would probably be all over it. But that's the thing is, you know, it does say tire paint, and I don't think it's, you know, I'm looking at it more as a tire coating than a tire paint, because like I said, I think they've made this to bond to rubber better, and it's clearly not just, you know, acrylic paint or just, you know, some of your other paints. So I think it's interesting. And now this is, you know, one of my own personal vehicles, so I'm not doing this on a customer's vehicle. If I had somebody ask for it, then, you know, if I have good results with my own, then I don't mind doing it. Now I'm not going to start advertising that I have a tire coating and, you know, and then give them this. But, you know, if I have good results with this, then I don't know, you know, I might just use it on my own personal vehicles, just because, you know, I actually happen to like the look of it. That's just one coat, one, you know, good coat, but I like the look of it. And, you know, let's just say this stuff lasts, let's say it lasts 3 months. I mean, that's a long time for, you know, some tire shine. Now granted, you do have to go through, you know, I would recommend go ahead and taping your whole wheel up, and then around the outside as well. This stuff does kind of splatter out, so, you know, I do recommend that. Now I got a little overspray on this wheel here, and I've got Citril 266. That should get it off no problem. I think Scott said that got it off of his wheel. However, I think he said he tried the Dupli color grease and wax remover and it did not work for him. So keep that in mind. But there's other things you can use to get the overspray off. Now I'm saying that like I said, I don't for sure know, you know, what they've made this. This could be, you know, Scott said Citril 266 will get it off. So, you know, take that as you will. But there is a solution that we know of right there. But yeah, you know, I guess I'll put this back on the stand, and, you know, I'll show y'all me apply it. You know, it's nothing too hard. Oh, what I was saying is, yeah, you know, versus, you know, just a normal tire shine, this does require, you know, or you're going to want to tape your wheels off, you know, otherwise you're probably going to get overspray on and then have to come back. Now if you want to, you can take a cardboard cutout, get you a cutout. I did like a little semi cutout, but I just assume tape it off. It's just easier for me to do it that way. And I know I'm covered now. I do have the cardboard down there on the floor, but you know, yeah, you do have more work. So what I was getting at is if it lasted 3 months, you know, I'm going to say, you know, if it lasts 6 months, I think it's worth it. I want to say this can was like $7 or something at O'Reilly's. So like I said, if they were advertising this as a tire coating and charging $30 for it, people would probably be all over it. And if it had a different name other than Dupli color, you know, if it was, you know, Gion or McGuire's or whatever. Matter of fact, I think, who was it? Was it Armor All? I think it was Armor All that actually had, and might still have it for all I know, kind of a similar thing to this, now that I think about it. But I think I remember seeing a bad review on it, so not sure. But you know, we're gonna try this out. You know, I want y'all to leave comments down below. Y'all let me know what you think, and I'm gonna try to keep y'all updated on it. Hopefully, you know, at least on a month-to-month basis, or here and there, and we'll try to figure it out. I don't really want to do. At first, I thought about just doing the 2 tires on this side, on the driver's side, and not doing the other ones. That way we could see the difference. but I don't really want to do that, so I'm probably going to end up, actually I know I am, I'm going to do all 4 tires, but we'll just monitor it as we go. But I'm going to put this on the stand, and we're going to get to applying it. All right guys, so before I just turn the camera back on, I did sit here and shake this thing for a good 30 seconds or more in the directions, which it says to read all the directions to get the maximum performance out of it. And one of the things it says, along with using it at temperatures between 60 degrees Fahrenheit and 95 degrees Fahrenheit, and when humidity is less than 60% ideally. So I don't know what the humidity is right now, but I've got the heater going and we're right at 60 degrees in here. But it says shake hand vigorously for 1 full minute. And a lot of people, they shake it for 5-10 seconds and call it a minute. But, if it's saying to shake it for a full minute, it's saying to shake it for a full minute after each minute of use. So obviously there's something in here that separates pretty quick and that you want to get mixed together real good in order to get the maximum benefit from it. And that probably, I would say that if you don't shake this stuff up like they're telling you to do, that it's probably not going to last or bond near as well. So let's get to it. It says to be 6 to 8 inches away. And I'd say you'd want to be at least that. See, I don't know if it's going to pick up on the camera back there, but I got a little bit of run coming down. This stuff does flash fairly fast. I noticed that when I sprayed it on the box out there, that it was flashing really quick. So, like I said, we're right at 60 degrees, so it's not hot in here by any means, and it flashed pretty quick. But yeah, I don't know if the camera's going to pick it up, but there's slight runs. But as it started to dry there, I mean, you can barely see it. And these are not, oh, there's another run right here. That one's a little more noticeable. These are not new tires. These tires are a couple years old, at least actually. Haven't put many miles on them at all. So, I mean, they've still got a good amount of tread, probably 50% or more tread, but I'm gonna keep them on here until I can anymore. But I would say that I'll definitely have these tires on here long enough. I think I could get another year out of these tires. So we're gonna see if this stuff will last, anywhere over 6 months. So I think it's interesting. Like I said, I think that if a different company would have called this something different and charged more for it, that people would be all about it. And I think it's very likely that you might see, especially after, like Scott making the video on it. Now, I'm not saying that he was, like heavily promoting the product or anything like that, but, you could, a company could see that video, see him use it, have good results with it, and say, hey, let's make us some of that and market it different, and cash in on it. So, like I said, y'all let me know what you think down in the comments. Interested to hear all your opinions. I think on this video there'll be some different opinions. I could see some people hating on it just because it's Dupli color, and definitely because it says tire paint. But like I said, I really, I think paint is the wrong word for this. It just, you know, y'all probably couldn't tell by me spraying it on, maybe not by me spraying it on, but what I was talking about how liquidy it is, and it's not like paint, because that is one thing that I was, you know, skeptical about is, you know, is it going to be just the same as me getting a black can of acrylic spray paint or something and painting my tire, because that, you know, that I don't care for, don't agree with, but I think this is different. So I think this is something, obviously I think it's something worth trying out, because that's why I'm trying it out. But I'm not sure if it said in the directions here exactly, you know, I don't think it said a cure time or dry time. I'm not seeing it on here. You know, it says all weather performance, wet look, dry finish. So, you know, definitely I'm gonna wait. It's probably already been 10 minutes since I've done this side over here, and guess what I could do? Actually, yeah. Just trying to. That back tire looks pretty good to me. You know, y'all let me know what you think. But I'm gonna touch it and see if it's dry here. I'm sure it is. Yeah. So, like I said, it looked like it flashed pretty fast. You know, I'm gonna kill some time here. I'm about to knock out the other two, and then I'm gonna try to give it at least 30 minutes in here, time to dry before I pull it out. It's not raining or anything outside right now anyways, but the way it looks, you know, they didn't specifically say, you know, you can't get it wet for 24 hours or something like that. So I think, you know, you'd probably be good to go if you had definitely, let's just call it an hour. If you're between the 60 and 95 degrees, especially if you're anywhere closer to the 95 degree range, certainly I think that if you gave this stuff an hour, that's if you're doing one coat. I am interested to see, and I might do that on another tire, or I might do it, yeah, on the other side, do 2 coats. I think that's what I'll do actually. This side I'll just leave it at 1 coat. The other side I'll do 2 coats and see if we get a different look. I like this look. I don't, you know, I don't want to go any shinier, but for someone that might want to do that, that's what I'll do on the other side. I'll try that. I'll do 2 coats to see, are you going to get a different look by doing 2 coats. The way this stuff is, not sure. I think it would, because as I showed you on the box, between that first pass and then the second one, it obviously made it darker. But I think, you know, like I said, I think this looks pretty good. I think that's dark and rich, and doesn't have too much of a shine to it. I think that's what it's going to look like. I think that's cured enough or dried enough to where that's what it's going to look like. So I feel that's pretty safe to say. So maybe, but we're already at a 20-minute video here. I know I make long videos, and I don't even know how I do it. Get carried away, I guess. But let me just put a pause. That way I can show y'all what it'll look like to do 2 coats. All right, guys. So I think we're about dry here. We used the air compressor to speed up the process. So we're gonna see what happens if we put a second coat on. So I don't know, guys, we might end up with a shinier tire. So let's look over at this one. The lighting's not the best on that one, but you know, because that just looks like a, you know, clean matte, you know, matte finished tire. It doesn't have too much of a shine to it. But what I'll do is we'll take the air compressor to this again. Oh, by the way, at the end of the video, I am gonna remove the overspray, or I'm about to try using something, and it's not Citral 266. So if y'all want to see that, hang around till the end of the video. All right, guys. So give y'all a look here. We took the air compressor and blew off this tire to help it dry faster. Now the lighting is a little different, so you know, it's kind of deceiving because this light over here is probably making this look a little shinier than it is. But I do think that putting a second coat, that if you're wanting more of a shine, that if you put a second coat or multiple layers on, that you'll get it. Now, let me show y'all. I've got a product that I keep with me all the time now. Sorry. And, or I guess it'd be two of them rather. So this one is 3M high power brake cleaner. This is the contains no chlorinated solvents. This one here doesn't. But this one here does contain chlorine in it, and it definitely does work better, especially if you're dealing with like oils, breaking down any kind of oils or, you know, stuff like that. Having the one with the chlorine in it. So I like to carry both. This one or one with chlorine is definitely gonna do more in more circumstances. You know, like I can remove tar and paint and, you know, all kinds of stuff with this. And it's, you know, just, you got to use common sense when you're using, you know, solvents. But this can be done around clear coat. It can be done on clear coat, and if you use your head, you know, don't just spray it on there and then let it bake in the sun or something like that, then this can be done without damaging something. But let me show you, in this circumstance here, well, actually, let me get the light over here because there's no light. Hold the camera. So I'm gonna have Abney hold the camera. In this circumstance here, the non-chlorinated, this 3M one, and I think if you're gonna get a non-chlorinated one, that this 3M one is a good one. But just a little bit on the towel. Hopefully y'all can see the overspray right here. You can see where I made a swipe right here. Actually, let's go down here. See that overspray right there? Just comes right off. No problem. And the reason I say this is because this brake cleaner is not necessarily cheap, and this stuff likes to spray out fast. So you can use a whole lot of it real quick if you're not careful. But you know, if you just, like I said, just a tiny little squirt, and this stuff comes right off. And like I said, this is the non-chlorinated one. The chlorinated one, you know, works even better, but you know, that's up to you. But yeah, the reason I say it is because, you know, Citral 266 is not exactly cheap. It's an amazing product, and I recommend that everybody have some, at least, if nothing else. If you can't, you know, if you don't want to fork out the money to buy a gallon of it, at least get you one of the spray can versions of it. The reason I like the gallon is because Citral 266, I dilute it all the time, and it works great. So the gallon just goes further, but you know, you should, I think everybody should have some on hand, because there's definitely situations that can help get you out of. It's good stuff. But you know, same goes with this stuff here, as far as like some really nasty tar and road paint and stuff. You know, this, well, particularly this one here, which, you know, I'm sure there's other brands that have chlorine in them that'll work just as good, but I found this one, you know, it says strongest brake clean formula. I found this one to work incredibly well. See right there where it says degreases instantly. I mean, it does. If you've got some oil, you know, like when I change my oil in vehicles or whatever, compressors, power washers, whatever, I always clean up with this stuff here, and I mean, it takes oil residue right off, no problem. So this stuff, yeah, that's a tip for y'all there. You know, use your head, use common sense, and this stuff can do you some huge favors. So I just wanted to show y'all that on the as far as the removing the overspray goes. And then also, you know, tape, masking tape can be kind of expensive in my opinion. And so, you know, I went the cheap way out with buying, this is the duct tape brand, and it was like $3 for a little roll of it. Instead of getting, actually I haven't tried the frog tape. I think, I want to say somebody told me that they got it and didn't like it, or it wasn't worth the money, but that, and then, you know, your Scotch blue masking tape, you know, that stuff, that's probably what I should have gotten. And the reason I say it is because if I would have, as you can see, we've got some bleed through. And like, you know, I was spraying this heavy, but we've got some bleed through. So I just wanted to say, y'all might want to, it might be worth it to you to pay the extra $5 or whatever for the better tape. But if you don't, or if you get overspray on it, either way, like I said, this is my tip for y'all, that brake clean, particularly, like I said, the stuff, the chlorinated kind. But as you've seen, this right here was working just fine, taking it off really fast. So other than that, guys, like I said, I'm interested for y'all to leave comments down below on this one. I'm interested to hear y'all's feedback. I'm interested to see what happens with this stuff, to see how long it lasts, and what happens with it, how it holds up, how it looks, you know, because right now, while they're freshly done, it looks one way, but you know, I could get up tomorrow and it might look completely matte. You know, I might have been wrong about the drying time, and if I am, I will leave that down in the comments, or I'll make another video. So if I don't make another video immediately after this one, then just assume that they still look the same, and you know, we'll do an update in maybe a week or two, and then we'll start doing every month or something. But yeah, guys, y'all leave your comments down below, and till the next one, y'all either be good or be good at it.